Hey everyone, this is Roll with Paternity University. This video, I'm going to talk about why you shouldn't be the cheapest paternity testing place in your market. All right. First things first, quick story. When I first started, I sold my first DNA testing kit. It was a kit that I mailed out. I didn't even do the test in person for $169. And man, I was proud, absolutely as I should have been. That was the first amount of money that I ever made in this business. And that was cheaper than the competition in the area. At the time, they were offering home testing kits for $189, $199, $179, and I was priced myself just below. And it all worked out, and that's fine. But over time, I had to learn that cheaper didn't always mean better, and that quality meant higher value. Now, at the same time, I've had clients or potential clients that wanted me to be the cheapest, and to be honest, they seemed like they were going to be a headache. So at the same time, do you really want to deal with possible headache clients? All right, we're gonna go into what cheap is. Cheap is perceived as low quality. In the service business industry, you don't always want to be the cheapest. Would you go for the cheapest garbage removal? Would you go for the cheapest plumber? Would you go for the cheapest roofer? You probably wouldn't. You're probably gonna go for the one that has the most perceived value, which we're gonna touch on in a second. Now, there's a difference between price and value. Your value is intrinsically what you're perceived as in the public market, what you're made of. What does that mean? So that means trust, that means confidence, that means social proof through Google reviews, that means your personal knowledge as the consultant. That's what that means. Just being cheap means that you probably just started or you offer bad customer service. Another quick story. I'm telling stories all day today. I had to get some stuff removed from my garage, a whole bunch of junk, right? Junk removal services. So I called a place that I actually had used before. And when I called the guy, he answered the phone like, yo, what's up, bro? I'm like, what? And he's like actually like cursing and saying the F word on the phone, like sounding like he just woke up out of his sleep and stressed out. And he's like, man, and I'm like, excuse me, you're talking to me like I'm a potential customer and you're talking to me crazy. Like, what's going on? Oh, F, bro, sorry, man. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, and I'll do it for $100. That's what he said. I'll do it for $100. I can promise I'll come by tomorrow. I'm like, you know what? Fine. You know, give me a call tomorrow. Never calls, of course, right? I call another place. Very professional. Probably had some kind of virtual assistant or something like that and answer the phone. Very professional. Walked me through the entire process. Were they cheaper than him or were they as cheap as him? Absolutely not. They were like 4 times as high. But you know what? I actually utilized their services because I want my stuff gone, okay? And I'm gonna go with value over cheapness. All right, now, how do you build value? The number one thing to build value is, of course, your own confidence, which comes from knowledge. That's why I have confidence and knowledge kind of slashed right there, all right? Your confidence comes from your knowledge. Your knowledge comes from your ability to understand what you're selling, okay? And specifically in paternity testing, you have to understand what you're selling so that it can apply to your client, okay? You don't want to just sell them anything that may not apply. Number 2, trust and customer service and social proof. All these things kind of going into together, all right? The more people can trust you through social proof that you have, Google reviews, things of that nature, friend referrals, family referrals, business to business referrals, that increases your perceived value, okay? Customer service, like what I've talked about before, customer service is critical, it's key. Proactively communicating the status of a test. If something goes wrong, let that person know what went wrong at the lab. That's perfectly fine. You want to proactively communicate. You don't want to withhold information. That's how you build trust. That's how you offer good customer service, and that's how you get your social proof. All right. I always say to my students, this is how you explain your pricing. You say it with your chest. Say it with your chest. All right. So if someone asks you, well, how much is it for the DNA test, the legal DNA test? Well, our legal DNA test is $350. And if you hear like ooh, that's kind of expensive, ooh, or whatever, right? Well, the other place, do you price match? Actually, we don't. You know, this is how you explain it. Hey, if you decide to work with me, I will be your go-to consultant. I'm gonna be the person that answers the phone when you call if you have a question. It's not gonna be a call center. It's not like you're never gonna speak to me again. You will speak directly to me because I am your case manager. I am your consultant directly. You get a direct line to me. And a lot of people like that because they don't want to feel alone in this entire process. They feel as though their trust has been broken. They feel as though they have broken someone else's trust. They feel as though they've been betrayed or betrayed someone else or whatever. There's a whole range of emotions going on. And if you're that direct point of contact for them, well, that establishes trust even further, which aligns with your pricing and perceived value. The last thing I'll say is don't compete with others simply on pricing, okay? If I did that, I would never be profitable, okay? You don't want to have it as a race to the bottom. Just because if somebody's selling a $99 paternity test and they're saying it's legal, they're more than likely lying, or it's a bait and switch tactic to have the client pay an additional $300 to get their results in the end, right? So you don't want to race to the bottom. That's not what you want to do. What you want to do is improve your value over time so that you can charge what you want to charge. I probably have, aside from LabCorp, some of the higher priced paternity tests in my city is because I have proved my value to be as such. All right, we have the most reviews in the entire city for any lab. That makes, that's exactly what we do. All right, so these are the reasons why you shouldn't be the cheapest. Cheap doesn't mean better, and value is golden. Thank y'all so much. Look, if you want to learn how to start your own paternity testing business, you can click the links below. I have private coaching where you work directly with me. I don't have a sales team. I don't have other coaches beneath me. You'll work directly with me, or you can get the self-paced course for the price that it's at. For now, self-paced, everything's pre-recorded, and you belong to the community as well. Get that in the links below. If not, if you're not really sure yet, you can book a consultation as well, and you'll speak directly to me. Like I said, I don't have a sales team, marketing team. It's just me and this camera right here. So thank y'all so much. Until next time, peace.